y'all, this is Rebecca over at Cedar Creek Bottoms. Today we're going to talk about the rabbits and the chickens. First we're going to grab our tea and we are going to head out the door, so y'all come with us on our journey. I don't know what the chickens are doing inside my rabbit barn. They seem to think they own it. Those out there are being smart. Yes sir, we hear you. You have a return? Not today? All right. How about you, sir? You have anything to say back to him? No? All right. Apparently he has a lot to say. Alright, so I'm going to come out here. We are going to throw the chickens some feed, possibly feed the rabbits while I'm out here. Sorry about the banging, guys, because I had my hand on the gate as it shut. What you doing, Trouble? What you doing, Trouble? What you doing, Trouble? What you doing? What you doing? Yes, his name is Trouble, guys. Come on. Come on. Let's show him you're not tied to that tree. Come on. Come on. Uh-oh. Come on. Really? You got a scratch right there? Come on, boy. Trouble. Trouble. Come on. He's not. He's on a run, guys. How y'all like my loofahs? Growing on the fence. You want some growing tips? Plant them where you don't want them. They'll grow. What y'all doing? Try this again. Alright, so we got some layer pellets that we're scattering out for everybody. They have feeders that we made for them, but they really got used to us throwing scratch, and we decided we wanted to throw something healthier for them. So we throw scratch very rarely. Hey, quit it. And we throw layer, and we throw it out in a lot of places. That way everybody can get some. Y'all, that blue Easter egger rooster was top man on the totem pole at one point. Now he's at the bottom. So we have to throw feed everywhere to make sure that everybody has access to feed. In here, we have what's left of our pheasants. We still have a breeding pair. And yes, we gave every pen a swing. What can I say? I am the crazy chicken person. So this is our chicken flock, guys. Our pens, our cattle panels bent over in a hoop, and it works for us. There's a tarp on the back end. There's a laying box in the front. There is one of these style of feeders in them. Now, most of them have since downsized from this gigantic tote into a cat litter bucket with a 90-degree angle on it. That's what we're using now. And we have a water tank that holds 100 and something gallons of water, I think. Let me go around to the back and show you what we have. That's our water tank, and it is hooked up to this PVC tubing that goes to each pen with these cups that fill up with water. So they have plenty of water. They have plenty of feed. They have plenty of free range area in which to roam. They do get into the gardens out there. This is our other garden that I was telling you about, that we have not showed in full. We've only shown it from a distance. So we have 2 rows of sugarcane that we hope are going to make it. This has been a bad year for trying to get in there and do any sort of cultivating or anything like that. So we have hand pulled and kept them sort of cleaned out. But again, when it rains every day, it's very hard to get in there and even pull weeds. So this is the first 2 rows. And hold on, guys. All right, there we go. Had to get the feed bucket off my arm. We have 4 rows of rattlesnake beans. Now most of these have turned to seed, as you can see. All of this is seed for next year. We've got to get out here and harvest it before it starts sprouting and molding, or it won't be any good. But of course, like I said, it rains every time we turn around, so it's very hard to get out here and do anything. These are also trying to put back on. Notice the blooms. Notice the beans. They are starting to produce again. All right, this is 4 rows of sweet potatoes. And these rows are like 3 foot apart or something like that. This is your standard style garden over here. Straight rows, and these are vines, of course, that have, you know, filled in the entire area. We plant marigolds everywhere. This garden is no exception. Now these are willow leaf butter peas, and they are running willow leaf butter peas. So as you can see, they are on poles as well. And ooh, spider. Yep, spider. I about walked into him. Y'all almost saw some ninja skills, let me tell you. So I've waited all year for these to do anything, and they are finally starting to do something. But you can't see it. So they all have blooms on them, but I can't find any of the beans. But I know they're in there, unless something is picking them for me, because we're not. I haven't found any to pick. So this is the running willow leaf butter peas, all the way down the row here. 2 rows of them. Okay, now we did have a problem of Mark plants a specific type of pea. This is a purple hull type pea. I don't know what variety it is. It's a cow pea. But this sucker runs, and it has taken over a lot of the garden area that it is in. So, let me show you the rest of this garden. This is all of the peas. We harvested most of them, but some of them are sprouting back up again and wanting to grow again. So we might get a second harvest off of these if the ground doesn't drown like it's looking like it's going to. We've already took down the tomatoes for this year. We did have 2 rows of tomatoes. This one still has peas on it. Like I said, the peas took over everything, but you know, we just kind of let them do their thing because the tomatoes just melted this year. We didn't get any tomatoes hardly off of the 2 rows of tomatoes out here and the 2 rows of tomatoes in the front garden. So then we had another row, 2 rows of rattlesnake beans here, and like I said, we already took them down and everything. We just got to plow it under and, you know, be done with it. But that is this entire garden, guys. This will be our meat bird tractor, and we're going to run it around the outside of the garden. That way it takes out the grass around the garden and helps us out there. This garden has been relatively weed free through the years. This year it's gotten a little weedier than normal, but it's because we've had a good amount of rain this year, so you know, we haven't had to do a lot with this garden. This is one of our fig trees. This one was made from a cutting, and it actually has figs on it again. Just very surprised it has figs on it. So this is its start of its 2nd year. I made it from a cutting last year and planted it. These two over here were bought at Walmart, and as you can see, they are some sort of different variety, but I don't know what type. They are just doing a lot differently than the other one. These are supposed to be brown turkey, and that we thought was brown turkey, but it's apparently not the same thing, because these two plants, they're 3-year-old plants, and they are spreading instead of getting tall. Now this one's getting tall and spreading, but that just started. It wasn't this tall a month ago, so it's just started. So let me throw out some more chicken feed. The chickens love when I give them feed. It spaces them out where they don't have to fight each other for it. And they are foraging, essentially, even though I'm providing the feed for them. They are foraging birds, and this is, helps them learn to search for feed. Scratch is not a feed, it is a treat. You do not need to feed Scratch all the time. They need a balanced diet. So it is something that I would add, not necessarily make a part of their feed. Alright, so get rid of the last of this here. Well, that didn't exactly go the way I wanted it to, but oh well. Alright, so this is our chicken yard, guys. We get eggs every day, but they lay all through the day. So I usually gather at night, and yeah, in the summer that could be a bad thing because, it's sat there through the heat all day long. But we candle all of our eggs before we actually use them. So, all right, we're gonna walk over here. What you doing, Trouble? You don't want to look at me now? Is it because I'm embarrassing you? Putting you on camera? Big old fat boy. Yep. Alright, let me bye. So Trouble's run, he is attached to a run all the way to that tree over there. He has a good size run. He is not attached to the tree. Trouble likes to jump the fence. He's also a dog that will climb out of a 6-foot kennel. So no, it wouldn't matter how tall that fence is. He would find a way out if he wants to. He's a hunting dog. That is what he does. Alright. This is one of my coleus that grew from seed. This is another colea that grew from seed. And that's another colea that grew from seed. Okay. I had planted coleus in here in the past. And they reseeded. So guys, I'm going to show you my rabbit barn. So we have 4 15-gallon water containers hooked up for gravity fed down the line of cages. Okay. We have some lines to clean because they are getting, ugly on the outside. That is actually just on the outside. It's not on the inside. So don't be thinking we're neglecting our bunnies. Hey, baby girl, you need to quit wasting your feed. We're trying different ways out of getting wasted water out of the barn because this is what we end up with when it rains, and that's bad enough, but when you have leaky waterers to go with it, it's really bad. So we are finding new ways. One of them is putting these buckets up underneath, and you can tell which ones get used. Up underneath the waterers that drip. We're trying a gutter. I don't like the gutter as much because they poop in the gutter. I need to get a screen for it to where the poop just goes on through it. But we have bunnies that need to be separated. We have bunnies that still need to find new homes. And we have some of our breeders. This is Miss Harley. She's a Rex mix. We have some lop does, and we got some shedding, bad shedding going on right now. We got to take these guys out and brush them. This one, her name is Old Doe, and she's 9 years old. And we have old Whitey on the other side, and he's about the same age, so we have a lot of bunnies. All right, and I love it when you come up to a cage and it looks like they're dead. Come on, Bun Bun. I know you're not dead. But they like to scare you. They really do. So we have several bunnies in here. We have rabbits for several reasons. I got into rabbits because of the compost. The poop is the best compost for a garden. But guys, that's really all I wanted to do today, is show you the rabbits and the chickens. We feed a pellet to our chickens. Hold on, let me turn the camera around. We feed a rabbit pellet. We also feed chickens a layer pellet because it's less waste that way. Our rabbits, we try to feed them hay, but they really don't like it. So honestly, we don't feed them a lot of hay. We end up with just getting cases of ear mites from it. Now we do put hay in nest boxes, so don't think that there's no hay ever, but we end up just treating ear mites because of the hay. We do have a reel mower, meaning the mower without a motor, and we get them grass clippings to supplement their diet with all the time. Rabbits like a buffet, basically. So they like to eat a lot of different things. So you can't just say, oh, I'm going to feed them this type of grass all the time. They like a buffet in the wild. Now there's things that they don't need, but we feed them all the weeds from the gardens. We feed them the grass. We feed them anything that hasn't been treated with chemicals. 99% of our property is not treated with any sort of chemicals. We are treating around the driveways with chemicals because the roots of the weeds and the grasses are eating away the concrete and pavement, basically. But that is not where we grow stuff. So do keep that in mind, that most of our stuff we do not treat with herbicides or pesticides, either one. All right, so with that being said, we feed grass to the rabbits, we feed weeds to the rabbits, we feed plants, as long as it's not a plant that they don't need, to the rabbits. We take all the garden waste and throw it over the pen into the chicken yard. Whatever grass and weeds the rabbits don't eat, they get thrown into the chicken yard as well. So all of that gets composted together as well into the compost bins to produce a good, nice organic matter to put in the gardens later also. The chicken compost, the chicken waste has to be composted. It has to go through a heat because it will produce too much nitrogen or too much heat, and it will burn the roots of your plants when you add it to it. So make sure that you compost all chicken manure first. Now rabbit manure is a cold manure. It doesn't heat up. It doesn't burn the roots when you use it straight. What it does do, however, is it likes to hold moisture. So if you have plants that don't like wet feet, you don't want to put straight rabbit poo for your planting medium. Now we have planted in straight rabbit poo before, and most things do fine. But if you plant like potatoes or something like that in straight rabbit poo, you're going to rot your potatoes instead of growing potatoes because it holds too much moisture. So do keep that in mind. If it's a root crop, you probably don't want to grow in straight rabbit poo. I would say amend your soil with it. Maybe put it as a topping or a side dressing, and mix it into some regular potting soil or topsoil, but don't use it as straight planting medium. Now my plants here behind me, that is a washer tub. No, dryer tub. Yeah, dryer tub. And it's full of nothing but rabbit poop. And it has grown awesome plants throughout the year. But it's plants that like moisture, so do keep that in mind if you plan on using rabbit poop and stuff. We put it in all gardens. We put it in all of the flower beds. I take and put handful in the plantings. When I dig the hole, I put poop in there for the rabbits, and then finish filling it up with regular potting soil. I take all these leaves that you see everywhere. We'll rake all those up, and we will put all of those as mulch on top of the flower beds as well. It breaks down into awesome compost and leaf mulch. It just makes awesome medium to retain moisture, to stop the weeds, to smother things out. Now what we do in our garden is we have rabbits, we have chickens, so we have feed bags, 50-pound paper feed bags that all of our feed comes in, and we put that down, and then we top that with the leaves. That way there's another layer that the weeds can't grow through. And that is probably what we'll be doing up the driveway around all of the hostas when we start planting those. So y'all, if you need some more tips on how to keep the weeds down, let me know, because we will do some videos on it. And guys, be watching for our video on what to do if you don't have a way to do a garden, because there's lots of ways that you can do a garden and not have to till a spot. You don't have to own a tool one. So watch for future videos. Y'all make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you share. And if you like what we're doing, subscribe. Help us grow this channel, help us grow this business, help us by sharing. Subscribe, okay? That's what will help us the most, because we are trying to have a self-sustaining farmstead here. My goal is to get out of work, and I do that by teaching you. I do that by having classes at the farm. I do that by having products that you buy. I don't want you to send me money. I don't want you to send me stuff. Just like, comment, and share. And make sure that you let me know if I'm actually teaching you something. And if there's certain things you want to learn, let me know that as well. Make sure you put it in the comments below. Guys, till next time, we'll see you from Cedar Creek Bottoms. Bye.